Ooh, it's a little bitter today. Got a little bit of a bitter tea, but you need your bitters. You need things that aren't gonna always taste good, which reminds me, change is on the horizon. And you know why? Because you have set the standard. You have set the stage for what you want this version of your life to look like. I believe that we're in this time period where we have so much potent power over the way our lives turn out right now. And change is coming. It's coming faster than we could possibly imagine right now. And our intuition, our manifestation powers, and our just overall complete power over our situations are really potent right now. The only thing that we have to do is to start reprogramming the way that we think, believe, and feel, and just overall manifest every single thing in our lives. That is literally all we have to do. All we have to start doing is reprogramming ourselves. That is what is going to cause cataclysmic change in our lives, which is crazy. Ooh, it's a little bitter today. Got a little bit of a bitter tea, but you need your bitters. You need things that aren't gonna always taste good, which reminds me, sometimes you have to be uncomfortable in situations. Sometimes we have to run toward the discomfort. And what I've realized in my life is that sometimes I've run away from discomfort. How many of us can really say that we are comfortable with being uncomfortable? Not many of us, right? Not many of us can really say that I am comfortable with being uncomfortable. But that's what it's going to take, because that's how you reprogram yourself. The only way that you can possibly reprogram yourself is by being uncomfortable, because your body is going to feel uncomfortable. That's kind of like when you go to the gym and you have not been in a while, or you just don't go at all, right? It's going to take some uncomfortability. I think I made that word up, and I continue to use it to this day. It's going to take some being uncomfortable in the gym for a while for your body to get used to you actually being there and for it to change. So that is where we are right now. We're in a point where we have to be uncomfortable, and that is okay. We have to be comfortable in the discomfort. To reprogram our nervous system, to reprogram the way we think, we believe, how we show up, it's going to be different. It's going to be weird, in a sense, for lack of a better term. And it's going to be a place where we don't feel good all the time. But sometimes we need to run towards the thing that scares us. We need to run towards the thing that is the most fearful for us, because that is your destiny. Right now is the time to take a leap of faith. Right now is such a potent time in the energy to take a leap of faith. Because I don't know about you, I'm really tired of showing up the same version of myself. And when you show up as the continuous version of yourself that has been, cultivated throughout the time of your life right now, it's primarily because we continue to do the same things and we continue to be the same person. Meaning what? We react the same, we respond the same, we have the same beliefs. We don't change anything inherently about ourselves. We don't do things differently. So how can I possibly be a new version of me if I don't do things differently? But guess what? One split decision to start changing and being different, that automatically enables you to be in a different version of reality. Isn't that crazy to think that once I start changing who I am, my reality in itself changes? Wow. That's almost incredible to think about. once I start changing myself, my reality changes. It's like, it's how easy is that, right? To start changing myself and to start changing the way I show up, I change how my reality looks. But first, I have to be uncomfortable. Because in order to make change, I have to be in a position where I'm not used to. I have to be in a energy that I'm not used to. It may feel difficult. It may feel hard. And when things feel hard to us, that's uncomfortable. Like, that's just as simple as that. You know what I'm always also realizing is that rest is okay. And I think for you as well, understanding that you don't need to work so hard to get and to manifest what you want. Because you are simply the manifestation. You are the gift. You are the purpose. And once you start changing yourself, changing your actions, changing your behaviors and beliefs and everything that I'm mentioning, you inherently change everything. Because we got to think about it, right? If we can say that our memories are neurological pathways that we have created inside our brains, right? Because you have to think about it. If someone loses their memory, right, they've damaged a part of their brain. They've damaged a part of their neurological memory, which is the neurological chemicals that have been built up. So if I change my neurological structure, if I change my cellular structure to be something else, I literally exist in a different time. This is what they call quantum leap, quantum jumping into a new reality. This is what that is. When you change your physiological structure internally, you inherently exist in a different version of reality because you are different on a cellular level, and that's crazy to think. So what I want you to understand is that you have complete control on what version of reality that you want to exist in. Because sometimes we feel like we don't have control when it comes to us internally. When it comes to you internally, you have complete control. And you just have to understand that. You're not just out here living. You are doing that too, but you have some control on what you can do to change what this life looks like for you, what this human experience looks like for you. Because it's all a matter of perspectives. It's all a matter of perspective. Things are all a matter of perspective, and the world looks a lot different when we start looking at things a little bit differently, when we start handling ourselves a little bit differently, when we start responding instead of reacting. You know, if you have these automatic things where you're defensive, where you're taking things personally, or you feel attacked by people, or you feel like, anything, right? Those are automatic responses that we've built on a neurological subconscious level. Because when we talk about subconscious, all we're talking about is neurology, because it's our body's natural response. What's our body's natural response? It's the nervous system, the central nervous system, right? We have the autonomic and the somatic, right? There's different types of nervous systems. So when we talk about subconscious, all we're talking about is a form of the nervous system that reminds us of stuff that we've been through, because we learn from experience, right? Humans are nothing without their experience. That's what makes us special. That's what makes us creative and also enduring, right? And all that response is a built up remembrance of everything that we've been through. So if you reprogram your autonomic nervous system. If you get into the root cause and the root place of where all this trauma is being held, and when I say trauma, it doesn't mean you went through anything that is would be considered something just like, you know, extraordinary, those categories, right? Trauma could simply be that, like, you got yelled at when you were a kid. That can be a traumatizing experience for some people. It definitely can. So trauma is relative. Trauma is subjective. So don't think that just because you had a good childhood, yes, you still could have went through some traumatic things, right? So the main goal here in this era, in this season of our lives right now, is really reprogramming ourselves, reprogramming our nervous system. A lot of things that we can do to reprogram the nervous system is yoga, meditation, is really getting to the root. Shadow work. All shadow work is revisiting those traumatic areas and the thing that we put in the dark, right? Those things that we hide that come up, that's called triggers. I listened to a really good book, and it was called You're Not Triggered, You're Dysregulated. Meaning that these aren't just triggers, you just have a dysregulation of your nervous system. And what did I say? Memories and all that stuff fall into place inside the nervous system. That is just what it is. So if you can reprogram your nervous system, if you can restart that nervous system and get out of fight or flight mode, because we don't intentionally stay in flight or fight mode. We don't intentionally try to respond with defensiveness. It's just inherent, because it's our bodies trying to protect ourselves. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's your body doing what it's supposed to do. It's responding to a stress. It's responding to what it sees as danger. Even if it's someone cutting you off in traffic, it responds to someone as danger. It responds to that as danger. So it's about reprogramming that nervous system in order to feel safe again. Because I don't know about you, but I want to feel safe. I want to have full control over my internal state. So with that being said, let's work on reprogramming our nervous system, reprogramming our beliefs, reprogramming ourselves as a whole, so we can live in the desired reality that we're meant to be living in. Ashe, amen. I'll see you guys later.